Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I am Nicole, and I live in India, and tonight I'm here with my very good and only friend, Laurence.
Hello.
She is my French connection, my bestie from the Westie, and she is here tonight to help me watch a video about Chinese businesses in India.
Okay.
And whether or not that has impacted India.
The fact that they are
Blocked here.
blocked here. Did that impact India positively, you mean?
No, just like, I don't know because I haven't watched the video, but the video name is Has Blocking Chinese Businesses Impacted India? It's impacted me and my shopping.
Yeah, it's impacted me and my scanning because I had to find a new app, but I didn't find a new app. So I don't, I'm sure if it's impacted it's positively.
Well, I think it has been a positive impact. I mean, I might complain about the shopping. I definitely did enjoy my cheap Chinese shopping.
And I am glad you are not shopping that anymore.
Yeah. So in a way I am too. Like it really forced me to step away from China.
Yeah.
It forced a lot of women to step away from China.
No, but it's a good thing when you look at the working conditions.
It's definitely a good thing in so many ways.
Yeah.
Like not just the working conditions of the workers there, but also just the dependence on China. We never know like what they're putting out. Like
Okay,
if you
so
think
yeah, for me it's not so much that than the condition, the pollution, the
of just like garments and
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, because I think it goes so much more than that. Like if you look at TikTok in China is a completely different type of application than what they've released everywhere else. And it's it's like brain drain to the younger generation everywhere else, but in China, they show videos kids on wanting to become astronauts and mathematicians and it's limited to children for so many hours a day, whereas everywhere else it's like let your kids rot their brains. So
it's funny because my daughter having moved to back to Europe was telling me the other day, oh, maybe I'll reinstall TikTok. And I was like, why?
It's so junk. It is. It's brain junk. It's junk
Why
for
would
your
you do
brain.
that? And she said, no, I like making things
Videos
and
and
all of that.
stuff, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, okay, but you've not been doing it for so long now.
For so long, why start back?
Yeah, why? Why?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I get it.
So she didn't.
Has it impacted India? I think for sure. I think it has to have been most likely in a positive way. I mean, it had to have been positive. But let's see what these guys have to say about it. Now, if you haven't already, give me your like, give me your subscribe, and let's go.
In India, telecom infrastructure is not built by Chinese companies. You have banned TikTok, you have banned Chinese operating systems. These are, of course, costly decisions. Advice you would have on the discussions.
They banned Sheen.
But he's right. I mean, when the ban happened, it happened overnight, right?
It did. It was like no more.
And yeah, and suddenly your apps, it was mostly apps for me, which was
Yeah.
traumatic, not so much Shin. But suddenly your apps are not working, and you're like, what? And my thing in those cases, it's like for COVID was always, it's okay, it won't last.
Yeah,
it won't last. It's just
I really thought it would come back too.
Yeah, I didn't delete my scanning app for quite a while because I really like that one. But
I left Sheen up for a bit too. Yeah. Okay.
That go on if the government takes these far-reaching decisions.
We are not close to business from China. I mean, this is the country, it's the second largest economy in the world. It's a premium manufacturer. So there's nobody who can say, I won't do business with China. The issue is, which sectors do you do business, on what terms do you do business? So it's far more complicated than a black and white binary answer.
I have two questions to Minister Jaishankar on the issue of economic security that already came up. On the one hand, this is an issue of government regulation, and your government has taken much more far-reaching decisions than many others, than our German government has. For example, you see, we make jokes here about our infrastructure and our telecom infrastructure. I understand that in India, telecom infrastructure is not built by Chinese companies. You have banned TikTok, you have banned Chinese operating systems. These are, of course, costly decisions, and I'd be interested in any advice you would have on the discussions that go on if the government takes these far-reaching decisions. And the second question, you've mentioned that, of course, India wants to upgrade its industrial sector. For that, you will, I guess, depend on Chinese investments too. So how does this relate? Economic security on the one hand, on the other hand, trying to seek investment from China in crucial sectors. Thank you.
You asked me a question, was it costly for you to do a switch? Here's the answer. We actually, for a variety of reasons, decided that we would ourselves take a plunge on 5G. Till that point of time, the 5G technology was either European or it was Chinese. Well, there was also Korean. Now, once we decided this is important for us, telecom means security. Now, it took us about 2.5, 3 years, really. Today, there's a massive 5G rollout, and the 5G stack is an Indian stack. So I would argue that, yes, it looks costly upfront, but then you might want to ask yourself, what is really the cost of security, and whether you've built it into the calculations that you're making. And once you make that plunge, then perhaps it's not so costly. Even business-wise, it's not so costly. I mean, we are today looking at markets for our 5G. So, on the issue of investments, look, we are not close to business from China. You know, I mean, this is the country, it's the second largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
It's a premium manufacturer. So there's nobody who can say, I won't do business with China. I think the issue is which sectors do you do business, on what terms do you do business? So it's far more complicated than a black and white binary answer.
Interesting, right? So obviously there is business with China. There has to be. I mean, China is huge, but I think it's really important. And India has done it in a really smart way where they've chosen where they will have Chinese investment and where they won't. And they've made that choice, and they made it years ago, and they really stuck to it. I think I said once in a video that sort of talked about this a little bit, or it went over this idea that, that India has, banned China in a lot of these things. And really it's about talking the talk and walking the walk. And India really does that, and not just with the banning of certain things, but like when India talks, they also walk the walk. So many countries will, like the oil from Russia. Germany has said, and gotten upset about India taking oil from Russia, yet Germany takes oil from Russia, so they want to talk the talk, but they will not walk the walk. And in these cases, when India says we're not going to do it, they don't do it,
Yeah, there is that, and there is the long-term planning. I mean, you need to have a vision.
A vision, yeah.
And when when they decided to go on blackout on China, they already had put in place that vision. So they were able to do it. So like you said, it cost money upfront, but then in the end, that was what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah, when they started talking about 5G.
And no, when they banned China.
Yeah, at least 4 years ago. That was, you said,
even more than
COVID.
that, just before COVID.
Was it?
Yeah, it was before COVID. My scanning up was probably 2019.
That's now our scale of time with pre-COVID. post-COVID. or
When did
after
I turn my
COVID?
scaling up? That's the question. I think it was 2019, yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
But yeah, I mean, it's been 6 years, and look at how well we are doing. So
Yeah, and we're doing very well. And as Jaishankar said, I think that they now have opportunities to even sell that technology. So although they may have invested in it upfront, they will get the opportunity to
yeah,
bring it back. So India, as always,
we love you, and bye bye.
we love you and bye-bye. If you like what
It just sounded like yeah.
if you like what we have said tonight, please give a like, please give a subscribe, and as always, we love you and bye-bye.
See, there you go.
Bye.